This video is brought to you by Recurrent, an essential EV tool that gives free access to TFL EV viewers in the US. With Recurrent, EV shoppers can check range and battery info on used cars. EV owners can connect to compare their range and battery health to similar vehicles. And EV sellers can use Recurrent to get more money for their sales. With Recurrent, we can find, drive, and sell electric cars positively. Click on the link in the description below to get free access to Recurrent's amazing EV tools.
Lexus has just revealed something really interesting, because what I'm standing next to is their first ever 3-row fully electric crossover. Now, it is based on the Grand Highlander, but it's not just a Toyota with a little bit of extra chrome, because what we have here is a very innovative piece of design with a lot of really cool features. And in this video, we're going hands-on with the new Lexus TZ. We're going to talk about the range numbers, the power numbers, some of the interior features that make this thing so special. But first, let's start out with the exterior design. I think they are onto something really innovative here on the front end, because a lot of new EVs are very roly-poly, designed for aero, and boy do they look like it. But this new TZ is muscular and it's angular, and I really like what they've done with this entire front end treatment, from these pointy, squared off headlights that make this little seat clamp, and then of course the remnants of the now iconic spindle grille here on the front end of the TZ. In fact, the way that you get these little black plastic bits that jut out from the side, it looks a little bit Lexus GX. It looks tough and it looks very purposeful. And then my favorite angle is actually this front 3/4, because it's got haunches. That's right, look at the actual side profile here. The front fender sticks out beyond the headlight to give it shoulders. Unlike me, this thing has the potential to be kind of strong. So I think that there's a lot of cool elements. Wheel sizes range from 20 to 22-inch wheels. And of course, you've got to keep them aerodynamic, because the goal is efficiency here. But they have worked to not just make a smoothie style wheel. We actually have a couple different textures of black on this one, with this kind of flat gray and then shiny inserts there on the side of it. This is the 22-inch wheel. Coming along the side here, no chrome, right? That's very 2000s. This is very 2020s, so it's all blacked out, very Stormtrooper. And then look what they've done to the actual tail of this car. It's a little bit Cadillac in the actual implementation, but we've got this split tail light and then light bar design here with this kind of waterfall effect on this running light. TZ 550E logoing there on the right-hand side, and then over here, Lexus spelled proudly across the tail. So lots of interesting design elements going on here. Same basic wheelbase as the Grand Highlander, but where the Grand Highlander looks very pedestrian, this looks very upscale, and they've done a really good job in reskinning it to make it look very different. Now let's talk about some of the power figures. So 402 horsepower, dual motor setup, 2 different battery capacities. There's a 77 kilowatt and a 96 kilowatt hour battery. They're targeting 300 miles on a charge. So we're not looking at best in class lucid gravity numbers, but hopefully, if the price can be reasonable on this new Lexus TZ, I think this could be a very attractive vehicle, especially when we're living in an era where the average price per gallon is $4.50. Lexus, I think, could be onto something if they keep the price relatively reasonable. Availability starting fall of 2026, so we're really not that far out. But now for the question you've all been wondering: what does the inside of the new Lexus TZ look like? Well, let's go ahead and pop the doors open and find out. Now, I have exactly 20 minutes with this car, so a lot of what you're going to be hearing is my raw first impressions, but I think there is a lot of cool features in here and a lot of interesting design elements. I really like this. It's kind of organic. It almost looks like a stone that extends its way across the dashboard. The smell in here too is really unique. It's something I haven't experienced in a Lexus before. It smells like a high-end purse gallery. Really a lot of great smells coming in here. So this is going to be your Lexus infotainment system located here, proud and center in this vehicle. It's going to be fairly standard to other Lexus products that we've seen for sale. So you've got your navigation here, you've got your audio settings. This is still pre-production, so some of this is not final. And then you've got your shortcuts along the left side here, climate control down here. I'm not a big fan. Oh, actually, this is something interesting. It looks like haptic buttons, but they're actually physical moving, I should say, buttons behind a layer of leather. Camera views there. So even though it looks haptic, they actually are little clicky clacky buttons, but hidden away. That's kind of funky. I've never seen that before. Steering wheel, this vehicle does equip with Lexus Safety System 4.0, so they're pushing the bounds on their safety technology. Got these little panels here to adjust your driver assistance technology. You can scroll through settings here, volume up and down over there. Mark Levinson premium sound system, up to 20 speakers, which is a lot of speakers in a car. Really good room in here. I feel like I've got enough space. 2 wireless chargers is something we haven't seen from a lot of automakers, but is sort of becoming the norm. And unlike a lot of Tesla products, I'm really glad that they've actually kept and integrated a instrument cluster there for the driver. So we can see all of our important monitors here. So charge, acceleration, speed. Once again, this is all pre-production, so if you see all the lights on the dash, it's just because it's an early production unit. And something really interesting that Lexus has incorporated, there is an option in this car for synthetic sound. If you don't want it, you can turn it off, but if you do want it, it is there, and it's modeled after the V10 from the Lexus LFA, and that is very, very cool. Let's see what else we got going on here. We got our shifter down here, park, reverse, neutral, and drive. It's all going to be located there. Big 360-degree camera as well. You can see all around you, your rear sensors, and then push that button for park. Good sized cup holders here in the middle. And then how does this work? Oh, it's a side opening, very, very large center console there. Always good to see. Does it open from this side? It sure does. I think what they've really done with this car is really push the bounds on colors and textures and materials. It's not just leather and chrome. Like, look at even the seat. 50 shades of gray here. Maybe not as spicy, but you can see very interesting stitching, so a lot of attention to detail. All right, let's go ahead and check out the second row of the new Lexus TZ. I'm not in love with the door panels, the door handles being full electric, but that is becoming more the norm, and I am in love with this. Lexus with an ottoman. So that's going to fold on out there. And now I have a little place to rest my legs. Although the seat doesn't go back super far. Let me see if there's a control here to actually make that happen. Oh, here we go. There we go. So you do get the ottoman, but it would be better on the passenger side for like a relax mode if you could scoot that front seat forward. But regardless, still a very comfortable place to spend time. And I do like that it is full electric recline here. And let's check out the door. We got sunshades go all the way up, automatic climate control back here, a couple of USB-C ports, and then this is an interesting center console. Little cubby that pops open like that. Yeah, okay, I think this is quite a usable little bin here, full panoramic sunroof, so a lot of this is feeling pretty good, but the question is, how is the third row? Oh, really well done. So even though a lot of these controls are electronic, like the recline, it's one button, push, and then slide forward. There we go for the third row. So let's see what this space is like. Now, hop into the third row. Oh, I'm even seeing stuff like heated third row seats and power recline. Guys, look how luxurious this is back here. Very, very, very nice. Headroom is okay. At 6 feet tall, I'm out a little bit on headroom, but not too bad overall. Shoulder room is a little bit compromised as well, but for kids, this is an excellent third row. And even as an adult, because of that recline, it does mean I've got enough space for those longer journeys. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk space. So, button down there. First thing I'm noticing, love the low liftover height. Very, very nice, just being able to lift things up, not a significant distance. And then underneath here, we're gonna find our integrated charge cable and the space for your view blocker. That's all quite good. And then I'm also seeing, looks like we've got power folding, third row. A little slow for sure, but let's see what the space total is like with that down. Oh yeah, very, very usable. So what I really appreciate is that this car doesn't just simply feel like a Toyota with some more leather. I think that they've done a good job of giving this car its own character. especially in the second row luxury space with the ottomans, with all the power goodies. They've done a nice job of adding more feature to this car that we just don't see on the Toyota variant. And I also really like the exterior design. I think the range is potentially competitive. The power looks good. It's all going to come down to price. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. This has been Tommy, behind the camera Zach. We'll see you in the next video.